Outlines of a possible deal between the United States and Iran over that country's nuclear energy program are emerging. The New York Times reports the U.S. could allow Iran to produce limited amounts of uranium for civilian use, despite President Trump's public insistence that the entire program be scrapped. Joining me for tonight's interview is Will Todman, a senior fellow at the Center for Strategic and International Studies. Will, based on this reporting, what's your sense of where things are with this?
So progress has been made because for the first time, the U.S. has delivered a proposal to the Iranians that lays out the outlines of a deal as they see it. But this is only an interim deal, and it leaves a lot of the questions, many of the hardest questions, to be answered further down the line. Now, the Iranians insist that they must continue to have the ability to enrich uranium on their own soil, but President Trump said in a Truth Social post that he would not allow that. So I think now we're into a push and pull around some of the semantics here and whether that Iranian enrichment will actually happen on Iranian soil or if there can be another workaround for it.
On Iranian soil, explain why that's important, possibly.
That's really important for the Iranians because ultimately they say they have a right to a civilian energy program, and they have had a program like this for years, and many other countries around the world have this as well. So they're insisting that it continue to be on their soil, meaning that they would have a degree of control over it. But one of the workarounds that has just been proposed is that it might actually take place on an island in the Gulf. That would potentially even be a disputed island, allowing Iran to continue to say that it's on its own soil, while in fact it's actually not an island over which it has full control, and therefore it could be part of a regional consortium which has much greater oversight from international inspectors, like from the IAEA.
And the inducement for Iran to allow that would be what? They would basically get a whole lot of energy and support from those other countries in the consortium?
Exactly. Yeah, this would be a power and energy sharing agreement, essentially, most likely between Saudi Arabia, the UAE, the United Arab Emirates, and Iran. And it would allow the three countries to generate nuclear energy together. And once it got to the levels at which it compensates Iran for its previous energy program, then Iran would have to end its own domestic program of enriching uranium. But it would also have an effect of tying these countries closer together. And so it would increase the cost of any future conflict between Iran and Saudi Arabia, which for decades have been rivals in the region. And so there's also a peace-building aspect to this.
And presumably, because the uranium would be taken care of somewhere else, this would take care of Israel's chief concern, and the United States as well, which is they have uranium to develop into a bomb.
I think it would certainly make progress towards assuaging Israel's concerns, but ultimately this would take a long time for this kind of consortium to be set up and operationalized. So I think for Israel in the interim, they are very concerned that Iran would continue to produce uranium, enriched uranium, even at low levels. For them, they are very concerned about the high stockpiles that Iran has. And so I think it would continue to be a concern for some while for Israelis.
Will Todman with the Center for Strategic and International Studies. Thank you.